So I posted about how I am replacing the valve stem seals on my 2004 Infiniti I35. As you can see, I've removed the valve spring and everything. The tool I used, this one right here, just tap it with a hammer and it will release the collets, allow you to get in there. Then I purchased a pair of hose clamps, pretty good. They allow me to get in to the space and to get some pretty good grip, as well as you want to kind of turn it while you're removing and just applying the pressure, and thus removing your valve stem seals. I had a lot of smoke coming out of my engine. Also found my number 2 and number 4 spark plugs pretty nasty, pretty gummed up. So that's when I decided to take some action and figure some stuff out. A lot of stuff going on that I found, but it's been kind of fun. As I mentioned previously, I had the fun adventure of dropping the valves here on the exhaust side. I actually ended up taking off the exhaust manifold to be able to get in with a fine pair of needle nose pliers in there. I have a bore scope. You can see it down here, pretty much still attached to where allowed me to see inside as I try to lift those up, and then I applied a vacuum to the valve stem to be able to suck up and give me some force to be able to draw up that the stem, the valve itself up on the stem portion. So that was quite an adventure, but it learned from my mistakes. That's the key part. And just keep plugging along to be able to replace this. So I've finished these 8 plus these 2, so just finishing up this side on the left valve bank, and then I'll be heading over to the right side. So getting ready to place in the new valve stem seal. I've dipped it in oil and just going to be able to slide it in right on down, and you just kind of make sure that it's kind of seats a little bit first, and then you give it a little bit more to kind of seat the last portion of that. And there it is, installed right into that, onto that valve. Now will be time to replace the collet and the collets and put the spring back in. So this is the fun part, trying to get the collets to seat properly. This is the one, again, I'm a new guy, so might be doing it. I found that the intake ones are a little bit easier than the exhaust, mainly because the exhaust are at an angle and the intake ones are somewhat level to the ground, so it makes kind of placing them just a little bit easier, but it just takes a little bit of force and time to pop them in. So again, you'll have sometimes where it'll pop out, the other one goes in, you just redo it. Makes life easy if you have a small magnet. You can just grab it, the one that's out. Sometimes they'll fall behind. I've plugged up the oil ports for now to make sure that nothing falls into it, because I've had that happen as well. But this magnet has come in handy trying to fish it out. Just makes it just a little bit easier to you can kind of see the collet retain in there through the magnet that's built into the tool. Oh, there, I lost one down. That one just slightly sticking up. Got it in, finally. Took me a little bit of work, but you can see, maybe you can see, you can zoom in a little bit, but making sure that the head, the valve kind of sticks up above the collets itself. So it can take a little bit of work, but they go in.